Joining me now for more from Capitol Hill, correspondent Nina Donaghy.
Well, Mike, this certainly isn't how Hilary Clinton expected to spend probably her final week as Secretary of State. She faced very tough questions up here on Capitol Hill all day today, but the toughest came from Republican senators, many of whom are still accusing the Obama administration of a cover-up. Hilary Clinton defended her decisions surrounding the consulate attack.
Again, we were misled that there was supposedly protests and then something sprang out of that, an assault sprang out of that. And that was easily ascertained that was not the fact. And the American people could have known that within days, and they didn't know that.
With all due respect, the fact is we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
Senator John McCain also focused on why the facts of the attack on the consulate that left American Ambassador Chris Stevens and 3 American colleagues dead were not clear, and why security was so low.
With all these warnings, all these things took place, we didn't have a single Department of Defense asset apparently available to come to these rescue. The American people and the families of these 4 brave Americans still have not gotten the answers that they deserve.
Kentucky Senator Rand Paul going even further, suggesting Clinton should have been fired.
Had I been president at the time, and I found that you did not read the cables from Benghazi, you did not read the cables from Ambassador Stevens, I would have relieved you of your post.
Clinton's voice cracked with emotion as she spoke of the friends and colleagues who were killed.
For me, this is not just a matter of policy, it's personal. I stood next to President Obama as the Marines carried those flag-draped caskets off the plane at Andrews. I put my arms around the mothers and fathers, the sisters and brothers, the sons and daughters.
Before the House Foreign Relations Committee later, Clinton denied she was aware of any security requests from the consulate or its ambassador, and blamed lawmakers for not approving sufficient diplomatic budget requests for security, but said ultimately she's accountable.
As I have said many times, I take responsibility.
Even after all these hearings, however, it's still not clear why these repeated requests for extra security from the embassy staff and the ambassador himself didn't make it to Hillary Clinton's desk, Mike.
All right, Nina Donaghy, thanks so much. This will be the final time Hillary Clinton appears on Capitol Hill as the U.S. Secretary of State. And when it comes to appearances in the world, she certainly has made a lot. During her tenure, Clinton has traveled nearly 1 million miles to 112 countries, a record for U.S. Secretaries of State. Now consider how many her predecessors made. George W. Bush's second Secretary of State, Condoleezza Rice, made visits to 85 countries. His first Secretary of State, Colin Powell, visited 88. And President Bill Clinton's last Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright, also visited somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 or 98 countries, I should say. And to illustrate the importance of Asia and the Mideast, Clinton visited there the most, 32% of the time. Europe was a close second, coming in at 30%, followed by Africa and the Americas.